Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's going to join us. If you are here and hanging out, just please go ahead and say hello so I know you're here and hanging out with us. Let's see. I'm going to make sure we are officially live and share with our group so everybody can find us. Because Lord knows it's hard enough to find us sometimes. So let's go do that. There we are. And yes, we are live. All right, share with our groups. There's our VIPs and the team. Okay, Tucker's here. He's all snuggled in his little chair here, hanging out with Mama. So I think we're all present and accounted for. Okay, let's get started. We'll do our housekeeping so that we can go ahead and get into our fun stamping. So first off, well, I guess maybe Tucker has decided that there's better places to be at the moment because he's going to leave us. All right. Anyway, Paper Pumpkin. We are now in the June subscription period. The May kit has shipped out and should be arriving in mailboxes any day. Hey, Sue, so glad you made it. Thank you for sharing. I truly appreciate that. So we are into the June subscription period. That is the Full of Charm kit. And you have until May 10th to get in on that. And that is looks like Mother's Day themed. No, can't be. Nope. Loved ones. Send your loved ones elevated cards with heartfelt sentiments. You're going to make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. Your envelopes and card bases will have decorative gold foil. You're going to get pre-cut paper pieces and unique sentiment labels. And the coordinating colors will be Berry Burst, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Mossy Meadow, and Pretty Peacock, and a new in color Timid Tiger. And your ink spot will be Pretty Peacock. It does coordinate with the additional add-on blooms, the Hugs a Bloom dies. You can see here on the bottom of this little flyer. So those dies do coordinate with all of the quarters Paper Pumpkin. So from April, May, and June, they all coordinate. Hey, Arlene. Hey, Deb. So glad you ladies could join me. All righty. So next up, online exclusives. I have to tell you, the May drop for online exclusives was amazing. I think my pre-order was more online exclusives than it was catalog product. Don't be wrong, love what's in the catalog. Hey, Sherry, so glad you could join. But the online exclusives really outdid themselves. I have this one on its way. Tonight we are featuring the Hugs and Healing stamp set, and that is also a online exclusive. Hey, Kay, so glad you could make it. So lots and lots and lots of cute stuff. Next week, I believe we will be playing with the popcorn set here. This is so cute. We already did the frames. So yeah, love, 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 love the online exclusives. This is the other one I'm in love with, is this whole suite of product here with the sailboat. Really, really cute. Oh, hey, sis. Glad you could join. Hope you're feeling better. And more of the fun online exclusives like this little Peggy. So stinking cute. Absolutely love her. Anyway, so online exclusives, you definitely have to go online to my website and just kind of peek around and see what you see, because holy moly. And then, of course, May, for the entire month of May, Stampin' Up! Has a amazing join offer going on for $100. Well, let's see. You get to pick out $165 in product, and you pay only $99 for it. You're going to get free shipping. You're going to get a free Paper Pumpkin. It'll be an older kit, but it will be a free kit. as well as all of your business supplies that you may need. You'll get a package of 8 new catalogs, everything you need to get started as a demonstrator. Now, again, it is done at your pace, at your rate, whatever you want it to be. You can have it as a business. It could just be you as your own best customer getting a discount. It's kind of like joining BJ's or Costco, and you do have a minimum to maintain, but again, it's worth it to have that discount. It is a fabulous deal. And like I said, you don't have to do another thing after. If you choose not to, there's no one policing you to make sure that you're placing orders or doing a business of any kind. It's completely 100% what you'd like it to be. Again, it's $165 in product. You're paying $99 with free shipping, and it's a fabulous deal. And of course, we would love to have you on our team. My team is a no pressure team. We just do what you choose to do with it. If you want coaching, I'm here to coach you. If you just want to just do your thing, you're free to do that as well. Hey, Miss Betty, so happy to see you. Yay, you. All right. So we have Miss Betty in the house. We are good to go. Definitely a piggy set that you might want to look at on the online exclusives, Miss Betty, because I know I fell in love with the little piggy. It's called Party Pig. Too cute for words. I said we're going to do popcorn next week, but we might have to do the Party Pig. Just may have to happen because he is or she is so sweet. So that's where we're at. And tonight we are now playing with, let's see if we can't get ourselves all in. There we go. Hugs and Healing. This set is just too cute for words. It is also one of the online exclusives. It is an inexpensive kit, this one, or set. It's only $20. Let me see if I can't bring it up. I may be able to. I just have to find it. I have a QR code that'll take you right to it if I can find it. If I can't, I'll just have to post it later for you. But I do have the link to this set right in the description of this video. Yeah, I don't see it, so I can't pull it up for you. But there is a nice QR code, and I will post it for you at some point. But anyway, Hugs and Healing, super cute. And I'm going to show you how to use it. All right. So the cards we're making tonight, I have 3 cute cards. One is a really super simple fun fold. It is called a accordion Z fold. See how cute he is? I'm sorry you're feeling rough. And then you open it up and it's, I hope you feel better soon. We got our little paw prints. And it stands, so that would sit on a counter, making somebody feel so much better. Look at the little ice pack on his head. Isn't he sweet? Love this set. Anyway, so that's card number 1. Card number 2 is our cute little kitty. He says, I hope you feel better soon. So for our kitty lovers, we didn't leave you out. We do have little kitty here with a little broken arm and his little sling. Maybe it's not broken. Maybe it's just a little injured. But it's in the sling. And we have all that texture. Look at that from those framed dies. Love that. Check that out. And we have our little paw prints. And then card number 3 is just a cute layout. Sending healing hugs to you. Isn't he cute? And that's got the little kitty cuddling with the little puppy. And again, we have lots of texture from those framed dies. We have our circular dies here. And check out Now this is Lost Lagoon. Okay, this here. These little embellishments are from the new In Color embellishments. They're called the 2025-2027 In Color Flat Pearls. But this is that cloud. Look how closely. I mean, cloud is definitely a different color. It's got more grays in it. But these embellishments, when paired with Lost Lagoon, pick up more of that Lost Lagoon shade. So don't ever feel that you cannot mix and match your embellishments. Whoop. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We are going to start with our fun fold. And I did not bring over my trimmer, and we are going to need our trimmer because we have to do some scoring. So hang with me for just a minute. Okay. Trimmer is present. And we have all of our needs here. Okay. So we have here a piece of cardstock that is 5.5 by 11. So it's not your standard 4 1/4. You definitely need a full sheet of cardstock to do this. So again, 5.5 by 11. And we're now going to do our scoring. So to score this, we are going to score at 1 3/4. So we start at 1 3/4. Next up, 3.5. Wait a minute. Yes. 1 3/4, 3.5, and 5 1/4. So there's 5 1/4 right there. And then I have to open this up and we're going to score at 7 inches. Which is way over there. There we go. Ooh. So there's our score lines. So we have 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and 7. All right. So that's our card base. We're going to set that aside for just 1 minute. Here's the rest of our card. All right. And then, which this is part of that piece of cardstock, the full sheet that we cut off. I already scored that. Ooh. That is 3 inches by 5 inches. And it's scored, no, 3 by 6, excuse me, scored at 3. So you end up with a 3 by 3. So 3 by 6, score at 3, and that gives you your little piece here. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to score or fold on our score lines. So we're going to fold our card, and then because it's an accordion, you're going to fold back. And back. And back. And that gives us our fold. Okay. Next, we have lots of little pieces here. So for our inside, this measures 3 inches by, no, 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then each of our designer series paper strips, these measure 1.5 by 5 1/4. And then I have a square piece here. This measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and a basic white 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So we're going to go ahead and find our little paw prints. And what do we say on the inside? Hope you feel better soon. Set our card over here so we can see it. We need our black memento ink. And hope you feel better soon. And this is going to stamp right about there. Hope you feel better soon. Next, we need a little pause. And we're just going to add some little paw prints. Yeah, that's probably good enough right there. Let's not get carried away. Okay. So we get good on our paws. Off. So we will be using it again. Okay. And we can go ahead and add our adhesive. This is the inside of our card. Oh, thanks, sis. Yeah, I went and had them done a couple weeks ago, I guess it was, after work. Okay, there we are. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate you sharing. Okay, so there's our card front, or inside of our card. Next, I'm going to bring in our Designer Series paper strips. Now, these strips are from a pack of paper called Everyday Happiness, and that is part of our online exclusives, and that is on the last chance list. So if you love this paper like I do, it is going away. So we're just going to, on all of our little panels here, we are going to put our pretty paper. There we go. So there's all of our folds with their pretty paper. Next, we're going to take our 6x3 piece and we're going to bring in our designer paper. And this piece goes onto the inside of our card. So we're going to have that like that. And like I said, this designer paper measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then for our piece here, we're going to stamp, I'm sorry you're feeling rough. Sorry you're feeling rough. And again, we're using our Memento Black. I'm glad you like them, Kay. I thought they were pretty cute. Straight. Oops. Sorry you're feeling rough. And then we have our little dog with his little little ice pack on his head. He's got the thermometer in his mouth. He's feeling all sad. And he's going to go right there like so. And of course, we're using our black Memento because we are using our blends to color him. And we know with Stampin' Blend being alcohol ink, we need our water-based black so that they don't react together. And let's see, we have all kinds of colors here. I have Whipso Coral for his little ice pack and his collar. I made him crumb cake. And we did his blanket in Lost Lagoon. And his little, the ribbon around his blanket there I did in Pretty Peacock. So just to give you an idea how I colored him in, I took the Calypso Coral Light and I just filled in his little ice pack. And then I took the dark and then right around there, the cap, and just kind of put in some highlights in there. And then I came through and I did his little collar. I didn't get crazy with the collar. We just did the dark. Did his tag. And then the other thing I did is I took the light crumb cake and I filled in his little face. And I even did his muzzle. Did his muzzle like so. And then I took the dark, and you would expect like some highlight shading like underneath the ice cap. That would give him a little bit of shade. And then over on this ear because of his muzzle. And then around his muzzle like so. Over here he's got some fur. We did a little around his ear there. His ear would shade his face a little bit. And then right there around his collar. And then, let's see. I also did his nose with the dark smoky slate. So we just colored his little nose. And then I took the color lifter. Now, the one thing I will advise with this, if you haven't used your color lifter in a while, like I hadn't, you do want to be careful when you pull that cap off. Sometimes that liquid pools in there and you'll splatter. So hold it away from your project to take your lid off so you don't end up with liquid where you do not want it. And I'll show you why you want to make sure you do that. But anyways, I took that color lifter and I went around his muzzle a little bit just to lighten that up. And that's how I colored him in. And I did his little body, did his feet, but I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me color. That's kind of like watching paint dry. So, by the magic of television, we have a fully colored little dog. Isn't he cute? But if you see on my original, there's a little smudge there, and that's because when I opened my cap to do his muzzle, all that liquid come flying out, and I had like liquid all over the place, and his color kind of all faded. I had to color him back in. It was just a fright. But you know, me, and I always have issues when I'm crafting. I do. It's come to the conclusion that that's just me, and I just need to embrace the problems. So anyway, we have our cute little dog. We're going to go ahead and add our adhesive and add him to our piece. And as you can see, this really is a super easy fun fold. Once you have your measurements, it is super easy. So now I'm going to determine where I want this to land when it's closed, which I want just a little bit of a border here. So I'm going to probably have it go right there. So I'm going to open this up. Oop. Probably don't do that, but I'm just going to add adhesive. And then, like I said, we're just going to, that looks good. Looks good. All right. Open that back up again. Put some adhesive along that strip. And that folds like so. And there you have it. Easy peasy. Ta-da! And isn't he the cutest little thing? He just looks so needing a hug. All right, so that's our card number 1. Okay, on to card number 2, which is our feline friend. Hope you're feeling better soon. So we're going to do her up next. And I apologize if you hear the fan in the background here, but it is like 800 degrees up here. It is cold, damp, and nasty outside. So hubby has decided that, you know, we can't have the furnace running. So therefore, there's a fire burning. And I'm croaking. So here we are. Let's see if we can, there we go. And I mean croaking. Anywho, here we are. So we have a piece of Lost Lagoon, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to go ahead and fold on that score line. And using our bone folder, we're going to press that out nicely, like so. Then, of course, we have a scrap piece of Lost Lagoon and some scrap pieces of basic white. The one piece of basic white here, this is cut at 2 inches by 3 inches. And that's the piece we're going to stamp our little kitty on. This is for our circle sentiment. And this piece here is what we're going to cut our frame out of. So I'm going to bring in our mini baby boss. And where did I put? Here they are. I knew I had plates here. Yeah, it's still raining. It has not stopped raining all day. It's just rainy, miserable, icky day. All right, so we have this. And the frames we are using are called the sentimental framing dies. So I'm using the number 2 frame die. And that's going to go on like so. Cover plate. And we're going to reel that through. There's our cute little frame. That goes in our file for trash. Next, yeah, I guess we'll stamp first and then we'll cut it out. So we're just going to set that aside for now. I'm going to go there. And you can save that for another project, but that makes a cute little rectangle when you cut your frame. The other thing you want to do is go through. I had my little brush over here. We would do that, but I didn't bring that over. So we're just going to use our pokey tool here and poke out those little pieces that didn't fall out. Oh, come on. Okay. There is our cute little frame. We'll set that aside for just a minute. Going to stamp our sentiment in Lost Lagoon ink. And that is hope you feel better soon. Here we go. Hope you feel better soon. And then our kitty, we're going to stamp her in Memento black ink. And we kept her coloring super simple. We're just going to do her little sling in Lost Lagoon. And we're going to start with our light. Like so. Then our dark. Just along in there where her arm would shadow. And then under her chin here. These little folds. And then just kind of blend them out a little bit. Okay, so now she goes behind the frame like so. And we're going to die cut this, and we're using our Spotlight on Nature dies. And it's fine. Which one did I use? Don't remember. It was this one. Yes. I guess it really doesn't matter which one I use. They're the same size. We have this one that has more like a leaf type pattern. And then this one's got the dashes and dots. So I use the dashes and dots, but like I said, does it really matter which one? Not really. They're the same size. All right. So that is going to go here like so. We're going to get a little piece of Post-it tape. Actually, that's not very centered. Like so. The baby boss. Plates. You coming back up? Come on. I'll hold it. Come on. Good boy. Tucker's come back to hang out. He's come back to hang out with Mama. You're such a mama's dog, aren't you? Wait, I correct myself. You're mommy's baby, right? He's the baby. He likes to be told he's the baby. If you don't tell him he's the baby, he pouch. He's the baby. Oh. All right. So, I don't think I have my glue dot. What did I do with the glue dot? Well, I guess we don't have to use glue dots. We can just use glue. So that's what we'll do. We're just going to do a little. Just fold over any glue that gets off the edge there. All right. And now we're just going to get him in there just like so. Oh, she cute. All right. We need to bring back our little paw prints. And again, our Lost Lagoon ink. And my fan's blowing everything over. But it's that or I won't survive. He does like the ladies. He definitely does. All right, so we're just going to have little paw prints coming out. Tucker has little paw prints, huh? You've got baby paw prints because you're the baby. Huh? You're the baby. Yesterday, he was definitely the baby. We had thunderstorms coming through here, and you would have thought they were personally coming to take him away because he was beside himself. All right, so now we need to bring in our dimensionals. So we got some dimensionals here. Boop. Keep them hidden behind the stamped panel here. And actually, I'm going to put them right in the middle so we don't have a soggy center. There's nothing worse than soggy centers. And that is going to go right there. And I didn't go far enough with our little, our little paws to come out. There we go. Just at least one side has to show. Okay. He does like the ladies, huh? Here's the baby, though. He has to be the baby. All right. And then we're going to take our sentiment piece. And that is also going to get a dimensional. But that dimensional is going to go way down. I got it on the right side. I do not. Knew I was going to do that. Let's be over here. And then here, I'm just going to get some adhesive. And that goes right there. And then we need these are holographic resin dots. These are one of our new embellishments. And they go with everything because they're basically clear, but they have that holographic. They turn like, I can't even explain it. They're just so pretty. Anyway, we're going to put these on here. We're going to do a little one right here and a medium here and another little one here. And that finishes card number 2. And as I said, she's so stinking cute. With her little arm in the sling, she just looks like she needs a hug. Well, thank you, Sherry. I just love the texture from these frames. These frames are going to be, I think, a real favorite of mine anyway. I see myself using them a lot. Because we used them again on card number 3 with our little Pooch hugging his little kitty friend. And this was just a fun layout I found and I really liked. So we're going to recreate it again. So I have a thick, basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Gonna go ahead and fold on that score line, and we are going to use our bow folder to press that out. Thanks, Sue. All right. Next, we have a piece of that same designer series paper. And this measures 2¼ by 5¼ So we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. And that's going to go on the right, or to the right. I'm going to get 3 equal borders. Like so. Then I have more scrap basic white that we're going to do some die cutting. And I'm actually going to cut these before we stamp them, just because. We're going to start with got to remember which one I used. I think it was this one. Nope, that one's too small. So I put it on this side. Nope, that one's too big. All right, maybe it was this one. Yeah, I guess it is. This is the one. I was right the first time. Okay. And then for the little doggy, he is on using the frame pieces. Ugh, get its place. Come on. There we go. This one right here. So we're going to cut that out because as you can see, this is a solid die. You're not going to see where he's placed. So you have to stamp him after you cut this out. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And as far as the sentiment circle piece there, it really doesn't matter. You can cut first, cut after you stamp. But we're just going to go ahead and cut everything while we have our baby boss up here. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there. And plates, baby boss. Circle for our sentiment. There's that. Pop that right back in there so it doesn't get lost. And then we've got this piece. Well, thank you, Kay. I thought they were cute. I actually just fell in love with the set, and I'm a sucker for anything that has animals, I guess, because I love animals. So you got me at kitties and doggies. I'm sold. All right, so we're going to put that right back in there too. And get these right out of the way. And now we're ready to do our thing. So I'm going to make sure all of our little pieces are popped out where they should be. There we go. That looks good. all those little pieces out. Oh, this one needs a little bit of help here. Get all them little pieces out. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so first up, we have our sentiment. Sending healing hugs your way. All right, so what did I do with that? Yeah, right here it is. So we need this is the Pretty Peacock is what I used for that. And I'm just going to stamp that in the Pretty Peacock. And that's going to go up here towards the top of our circle. Because we are going to put our circle off. We're not going to actually cut it, but it's going to be cut off by the rectangle that we're going to use. So clean that off now. Next, we are going to stamp our little doggy. And I actually stamped him in basic gray. Just ink him up really well. Good night, Sherry. Okay, so for this one, we're just going to stamp him right between all that decorative stitching. And I got to bring this down so I can see what I'm doing here. Might get a little bit into the stitching, but not much. Right where his blanket humps up. Perfect. There he is. All nice and snuggly. And now we're just going to go ahead and color him in. And I did him really simple. Again, using the crumb cake. We did his blanket in Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. We did the dark along the ribbing. And we did the kitty. I did her in Calypso Coral, kind of like a calico cat. That was what I had in my brain. These are cards. They can be any color I want them to be. So if you're wondering why I did a Calypso Coral kitty, that's where I was going. I was thinking of my grandmother's calico cat that she had many, many, many years ago when I was really, really young. Okay, so we're going to start with our light crumb cake. And again, just like our previous little doggy, we're just going to color him in. We're just going to get him all colored in, including his little muzzle, his little feet. Like so. And then we're going to do his little nose in Smoky Slate Dark. And we're going to take our dark crumb cake and right along his ear. Do a little fur there along that ear, along his muzzle, little toes. And along the blanket line there. And then we're going to take that color lifter, again, open it away from our project, and then come in and just lighten up his little muzzle. So his muzzle's not so dark. All right, our little kitty, she's going to be done in Calypso Coral. So again, starting with our light, I'm just going to go in there and color her in quick. And do her nose. Next smoky slate. And then I'm just going to take the dark Calypso Coral and just where she's like shaded by him, around her ear, her little toes, and a little like there, I think. And then I'm going to take that color lifter and lighten her up a little bit so she's not so bright. All right, next is her blanket. And I kept her blanket super simple. Took the dark Pretty Peacock and it's time for a new dark Pretty Peacock, but we're going to use that bullet tip. And we're just going to go on that edge. Then we're going to use the light Lost Lagoon. Fill in the blanket. We kept this little blanket really easy. We didn't do all the patterns and all that. We just colored it in. And one of the reasons you do not want to go right to the edge with your alcohol blends is you see it does sometimes push out of the lines. So that's where you can bring in your color lifter and push it back in there. It takes a minute, but you can push that ink back. All right, now I want my dark Lost Lagoon, and I'm just going to go along these little tick marks that are in there. There we are. So there's our cute little dog. Now we're ready to put everything together. All right, so now we're going to take our sentiment and that's going to go down right about here, I guess. Looks good. All right, And now we just need some dimensionals. And that goes like so. And we bring in the In Color, the new 2025-2027 In Color flat furls. And we're going to use these cloud. And let's see, we did a little with a big, and then the medium. We put it right down here. And that is our third card for the evening. Well, thanks, Kay. I thought they were soothing colors. So if you're feeling under the weather and you got a card in the mail that was telling you to feel better, these were good colors for that. Because don't need loud and, you know, I suppose really bright colors can be cheery too, but when you don't feel good, sometimes just that soft color palette. And that's where these fall in. So quick recap. Here's our fun fold, which is the accordion fold. An accordion Z fold, I should say, is the full name. And there you have it. Well, thank you, ladies. I am so glad you like them. I had a ball playing with this set last weekend. That's what I did Mother's Day. Mother's Day, even though we weren't going live, I figured everybody needed to spend time with their families, because even if you don't have your mother, most of you are mothers and wanted to be with your children. So I figured I will just hide up here and create, and this is what I played with, and I had so much fun. Next question, though, being we did do it this way. Last week we didn't go live, so I prepared ahead of time for this weekend. Did you prefer having the sneak peeks throughout the week, or do you just like have it being the surprised on Sunday? So that's going to tell me how we proceed. Will I get ready for the weekend ahead, or do you like those little sneak peeks all week long, or do you prefer to just find out what you're doing on Sunday and then see it throughout the week? Just curious. Oh, you're so welcome, Kay. It was my pleasure. Like I said, loved making these and I love sharing them. But I'm just curious if you like the sneak peeks or didn't really see them. The sneak peeks were cool. Okay. Well, we'll see how that works out then. We may continue to do something like to that effect going forward if people enjoyed that. All right, well, that's all I have for you, ladies. And I, again, as always, so appreciate each and every one of you for coming to hang out. I really, truly do. I know time is precious, and I appreciate that you take that time to come hang out with me. So, again, I wish you all a fabulous rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. Kay, like the sneak peeks too. Awesome. Love it. All right, ladies, you have a fabulous week ahead, and I will see you, God willing, next Sunday with more fun stuff to share. All right, guys, have a great week. Bye for now.